joining us. Right. Oh yeah, I got it here. Okay. Yeah. Soul swap. Throughout the generations. Yeah. Just right in time for the holidays. Planet Psyop. Yeah. Well, it's only a planet Psyop because people here are not wanting to know anything. um, yeah, rather be happy and lost than to evolve. Rather be right about everything, even if it's self-sabotage. It's amazing to self-sabotage here. It's like a career. And the knowing everything, that's another one. I don't think that's a right mental illness. Yeah, if you have a spiritual teacher that thinks he knows everything, yeah, it's called a con man. Or a con woman, whatever. Yeah, I can name you some names, but I'm not going to do that. So, yeah, well, people keep falling for the same shit, so that's up to them. Yeah, soul swap energies, that's a tough one. That's, that's, I don't know. Like, for some people that have a kid, and all of a sudden their kid is somebody else. Whereas first it's an angel, now it's a devil. Of course, that's the soul growth of it, but sometimes another soul comes in. That's kind of where I'm heading towards, something around those lines. But also those that have been through trauma, or that's another reason why they go through the trauma. The soul gets attacked and making one dumb decision after the other when they're young, and just becoming another statistic. Some of it's their own doing. It all depends, but that's how you learn. But then they get traumatized so much where some are not, some of it's out of arrogance, some of it's out of just, they just get attacked left and right. It's different. There's different types of trauma, you could say, but some are just narcissistic psychopaths that are just, traumatize themselves for, knowing everything, whatever. Those that are like the broken souls, some of them get soul swapped very easily. Like another entity, an elemental can take over their body. Like talking to them, and all of a sudden there's somebody else. They're just a vehicle for sabotage. And it's messed up. Doesn't mean they sold themselves out. It can mean that there are definitely those that do that, but they're the devil within themselves. Yeah, it's just a mess. Talk about soul growth. And they get greedy or whatever it is, and just narcissistic psychopaths. There's a lot of that here. Yeah, I've talked about this in the membership area where narcissists, some of them suck the soul out of people around them. It's that's supply, right? But then the people cut that off, or the universe cuts off, so you can't have that anymore. Then they have a psychotic breakdown. They might blame everybody else, but the truth, you can't take the truth either. You can't tell them usually can't tell them they're just you just can't tell them the truth. So, whatever. I can't even say it because I guess got blocked by it. Yeah. And Priscilla's here. As usual. Not on screen, but I don't want to disturb her and all her. She's at the spa right now. She has her condo in the closet. But for this holiday season, you go see the in-laws or whatever, and it's something to think about. you think it's one person, and all of a sudden another personality comes through. Of course, those that are into alcoholism, that's like a doorway to psychoness. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. It's a war zone. It gets very old. Well, and you're here to also bring enlightenment to the NPCs. The idea is for the soul, not, well, it's up to the individual, but if you don't want to be an NPC, you don't have to be. But obviously, may choose to do so. Obviously, and yeah, spiritual teachers, there's spiritual teacher, NPCs. Even some are coming to mind. It's like, why is this person going, oh, jeez. Yeah, just telling people what they want to hear. Yeah, talk about this. That's a soul trap. Man, does this world have any? I mean, only the strong will survive, man. Is talk about war zone. And it's just, that, and it really is the Matrix energy. It really is the Matrix. To keep people at the Matrix people level. Obviously the soul has a different progression, but it really is what this is all about. Is, well, I mean, the bad guys would let go if the world would grow up and take responsibility for itself, but it's too busy being a victim, and it's not ready yet. It's got this, it's got that, it's crying about conspiracies every 5 minutes, World War III. When you're falling for all those manipulations, it's hard. I mean, that's part of growth. But the monsters can have this world, for dinner until the people, get smart. And some are, and most aren't. And you can't worry about that. You just gotta focus on yourself, and as the world's gonna burn, let it burn. As long as you can survive this, because they're trying to, try to bring enlightenment to others, or just whatever. You don't have to save the world. That's the last thing I want to do. I just bury it into the ground. Yeah, it really is save yourself. It really is. I mean, if you can connect with others and bring some enlightenment, that's fine. But if not, don't worry. Who cares? Really, who cares? It's just like so many selfish, sexist shit here. So many spiritual teachers that are human garbage. Without mentioning names. Yeah, it's pretty tough words, but it's true. And they're having a blast. For now, they're having a blast until people figure it out, and they haven't figured out nothing apparently. But maybe one day they will. Can't worry about it. Who cares? Well, the holiday season. Well, we can try to get through it. Hey, Priscilla. This is ivy's.com. Private sessions. The scheduler. The shop here. Yeah, this is the time for, just you gotta watch out for something. I mean, so much weaponized. Like I said, there's somebody that been through the trauma. It's not necessarily self-induced, just trauma in general, and broken through what they've been through. It's not self-induced. It's just being around scumbags, and that's different than just the narcissist, psychopath that's here, which is many of them, and they think they can handle this place and they can't. And they just steamroll over everybody around them, and they become an NPC, and they just get. And it's just the younger souls that are here that just can't handle this place as much as they thought they could. That they become a tool, and they don't even realize it. They become an NPC tool, and just and really what life's about is really kind of like not becoming an NPC, undoing the NPC programming. And that's part of the trauma, the conspiracy stuff that's going on, and the political timelines. It's not worrying about that crap. Just not really disconnecting from it all. I mean, it's there, you can pay attention, but not to get pulled too much into it. It's more mind control, basically. So, no, and once again, the soul needs to learn what it needs to learn, of course. But it's really just not being an NPC here and just connecting more to the individual. And yeah, and then you get backlash everywhere. You can't fit in, and it's just the way it is. But that's how you come into your power. If you have a friend or somebody that you can relate to, that's cool. That not many people have that. So anyway, so soul swapping is just fucked up. So, all right, we're going to that, and I don't know, I'm playing Psyop, we're going to that, but the soul swap energy we're going to. Sorry, let's just go. Greens you are from astral neutral connection on a higher dimensional level. Well, dimension does not really matter. Higher fourth dimension. That's a human term. Soul swap frequency. Yes, it can happen to a child. Well, yes, a child's soul can be kicked out. Like, hey, this is my baby, and then some entity comes in and pushes their soul out, and now you have the devil. It doesn't always necessarily be the soul of that being. Sometimes it is. It's like I need to be evil right now. Sorry. Maybe I'll change when I'm 80. But there are souls that do get kicked out of their bodies at a young age. Now, sometimes in agreement, but not always. There are a lot of agreements, but there are astral attacks that do occur where the child is just, yes, insane, basically. And now, one's narcissism, it can be a double-edged sword, and that's a protection a lot of times. Just like they're really insecure, so they're trying to seem like they have it all figured out, but on the inside they're just crumbling and falling apart and going insane. Not all are like that, but some are like that. And in doing so, they want to please others, or they doesn't know what they're. It's like they're in a car and they don't know how to drive, but they're driving, and they have no idea what they're doing. And there are entities that are stronger than them can kick them out, push them aside, and attack others like yourselves that are here to assist others. That's another way to get to you. It's kind of like a vampirism, but totally it's like, but the vampire is possessing someone that you know that's close to you that attacks you. Yeah, it hits you under the belt. Somebody you might care about, they use that obviously against you, especially those of you that are in relationships, and the spouse turns into a psychopath, and that wasn't always the case. This is obviously they don't want this out there. And doesn't mean the human race cannot handle it, it's just it's buried for a reason. Because your controllers can do whatever they want. Now, who are your controllers? There are several different beings. Sometimes it's a wicked side of the higher self. Or, or just the soul is like, you gotta go through this crap. It's like, this world has a lot of darkness from other universes, leftovers from other worlds of just, nonsense that needs to be addressed, it needs to be healed. It's this world has a lot of just like clutter from other planets, and basically just kind of like you're clearing out, worlds that have just been lost for such a long time. It's like you're clearing out someone's basement. And in that basement is different universes, pieces of other worlds, soul fragments. It's like a multi-dimensional bizarre of enlightenment and also hell. And so, especially as a fractured soul that's been, on worlds that, that perished and now they're fractaled here. They don't know what to do with themselves. So why are some of you in that realm? Well, some of you incarnate to be, where the action is. It's also where somebody has to do it. It's kind of like plumbing, but it's underground plumbing. Soul plumbing, where nobody wants to go. Just like what you have Star Trek, where no man's gone before, or what about where nobody wants to go? But somebody has to go there and retool and So you wonder why your lives are the way they are for some of you. It's like, well, somebody's got to fucking do it. Not to be a victim about it, but just a lot of retooling here that's necessary. Yes, you're the right man or woman for the job. It's just, it's like, if you don't do it, it'll never be done. It's one of those situations. Why you incarnate here, as hellish as it is, yeah, it's like repairing someone's leaky pipes. And it doesn't mean that you have to save the world or well, it's kind of cryptic, but it'll kind of let you figure that out for your own. But it is really truly it's like just like disgusting plumbing, without going into all the details. It doesn't have to be too gross, but it's still kind of it's in a place of the soul that's just not in a good standing. And it's slowly doing soul repair. Well, touch ups, not trying to fix, but trying to help elevate. It's like for it not to leak anymore, but to some kind of soul repair. It's all up to the individual, but the idea is to kind of lift one up without keeping falling down, because there are some that can be lost here forever due to their actions, and sometimes they're the most difficult ones to deal with. It's not always supposed to make sense. I thought you're here to save everyone or anyone, for that matter. But there is a lot of ascension assistance here. And those that get fractal, well, because there are souls here, why it gets connected to certain individuals, yeah, because they got in over their heads. And so now you're there to do whatever you can, and yeah, they might trash you constantly. I'm here to help you. I have not one negative intention toward it, and they're just nothing but attacks. It kind of shows the possession there. That just shows you how bad it is. Like, hey, how's it going? You're being nice, and they're like, hey, look, I'm talking to a psychopath. And it just shows you that's how fractalized a soul can get. And doesn't mean it can't, at least the avatar can get. Doesn't mean there's a lost cause, but yeah, it's a little bit complicated there. Of course, it happens in governments all the time. That's normal. Of course, governments, there's a lot of alien entities that come and go there. And yes, well, some of these government individuals that have a nice car, nice house, and all that, and it's actually an alien being. But you'll never know it. Now, not that they're trying to live the high life. It's kind of like they have to have this presence to be taken seriously. Think of it that way. But it doesn't mean, there might be several aliens involved with that. It's just not just one. And it's some of your bad politicians are demonic beings, and and so on. So there is an alien assistance there. Without going into too much detail on that, because some of you are involved with it too. Like I said, you don't have to get too involved. You might be more involved than you might realize. If you're working on psychopaths here on a personal level, most likely you're working on some other level. But you're becoming an expert. Not that you want to be. But the idea is, to steer the ship to a more reasonable ground. Because right now, the planet is being pulled into the lower astral, as you can see. Because I mean, well, that's why you're here, so it doesn't get consumed into World War III or World War IV or World War V. And you think we're joking. And how that would be done is chemical warfare. It doesn't necessarily have to be a nuclear bomb, it can just be chemical warfare. And you're kind of going through it already, through chemicals in your foods, waters, and so on. But you're surviving. This is not as bad as it could be. But really, it's just to stink out the to take out the atmosphere and things like that. Just like Mars, without a nuclear war, you can do it without it. You can. There's other ways around it. So that's not that you're going in that direction, but that's what a possibility or how that works. You know, but not to concentrate on those things. Obviously, some are just obsessed with those type of subject matters, but they got to work on themselves there. Might take a while to do that. But yeah, this is a serious situation being here because as you get older, as you get deeper into the muck of how this is all, because it really is about bringing enlightenment, to a higher state, for you don't have to go through all these things, so the road doesn't have to be so bumpy, but how to pave that road is not as easy as it sounds. It's more difficult. Humans here are just get out of my way. Like you're here to pave the street so it's calm. It's just nicer for others. But there's some impatient people here. What are you talking about? Get out of my way. You're wasting everybody's time, and so on. And you just keep going. Because that's your mission here. While society just throws everything they can at you. It's a weaponized world. You just can't take it too seriously. Just as best you can.